Hi everybody, welcome to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton, Lauren Coleman, Chad Silver on this soggy Friday.
Yes.
I had to run today to get in and out of buildings to vehicles.
So I left my raincoat in the car. So this morning I was a dasher, is that what you call them? A run and dash. And I was soaking wet, but I said I can't do that again. Can't leave the raincoat in the car.
I did an umbrella, but I didn't bring the umbrella like the kind that collapse up and hold the water in.
An old school umbrella.
Yeah, no, broken old school umbrella.
Right.
The kind that go up instead of down, and so it holds the water in there. So when you bring it in the car, it doesn't make your car wet. I couldn't find it, so I had to use old school, and I got just as soaked as if I had run.
All right, I need to make an Amazon purchase tonight. That sounds like something that I need.
Those things are great.
Yeah.
They're great.
Well, staying with the weather, it is so nasty outside. It's yucky. I asked you all to describe the weather in one word. And the word that I would choose to describe the weather with is it's nasty outside.
It is nasty. Mine, miserable.
And for me, I don't know if this is an actual defined word, but crummy is the word I'm going with.
Crummy.
I don't know about you guys, but it certainly felt more like a fall day than an early spring day.
Constant rain, slick and flooded roads, and on top of that, temperatures dropped from the 80s yesterday to the 40s. Eric, how long will it last?
Yeah, we've got showers, it looks like for us. We're talking overnight, all day tomorrow on and off, and even into Saturday night. It's probably overnight Saturday night into the wee hours on Sunday morning until we finally see the rain move out of here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Rainfall totals, now this is just since midnight. So some of these numbers, in fact, all of these numbers, we'll have to add some more to once we get to the end of the entire event. But since midnight, and we all know we had a lot of rain before then, it's still an inch and a third basically in Lexington and Greensboro, about an inch and a tenth in Asheboro. Look at Siler City, just since midnight, 2.06 inches of rain. Again, these are running totals that we'll add to once we get all the rainfall totals in. There's a chance both tonight and during the day tomorrow we could add an additional quarter to a half an inch of rain, depending on where you are. So temperatures are pretty solid. We're not going to change a great deal. We think overnight lows tonight, low 40s, highs tomorrow, maybe upper 40s, so about that 42 to 47 degree temperature. I mean, that's not a big difference, right? Cloudy rain at times. I think as we head into the night tonight, they may not be quite as heavy as what we'll see tomorrow for the first half of the day. When that next low pressure system moves by, it'll be a chilly rain too, with temperatures again still in the 40s. Winds are gusty a little bit, 10 to 15 out of the north to northeast, and gusting up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. You get the idea when you look at the radar. We've got those scattered showers all across the area, and more awaits us down to the south and to the west. It's all heading in our direction. So cold rain for your Saturday. We'll keep tonight's rain chances at a 50%, an 80% chance on Saturday, and then we'll dry it out Easter Sunday. That's not bad. Eventually sunny by the end of the day, 58 degrees. Sunshine Monday, Tuesday, 62 and 69, and we're in the mid-70s, partly cloudy Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, there are all sorts of plans this weekend that are changing because of the weather, mostly related to Easter. Some sunrise services are canceled. Easter egg hunts have been moved indoors. We even heard from a local coffee shop that couldn't open this morning. But it is quite the opposite at the Children's Museum in Greensboro. With spring break underway, the museum was already expecting big crowds, but the weather grew attendance even more.
So we've had a huge influx of kids today. The weather really helps. We're really sad that people can't go outside to our climbers or to our edible schoolyard garden, but it keeps people inside dry and happy right now. So we've probably seen at least 400 or 500 people, whereas typically on a Friday we're probably around 200 right now.
Since our weather team is rated the most accurate in the Triad year after year, it is an obvious choice to make us your go-to resource. Our app is the best way to stay weather aware and get weather alerts when necessary.
Today, parts of the Midwest are still picking up the pieces. On Wednesday, at least 5 people were killed after a tornado hit parts of southeast Missouri. Officials say all of the deaths so far have been reported in Ballinger County, about 50 miles south of St. Louis. Volunteers from all over have offered support with heavy machinery, water, and food to help survivors. Moni Jones is a pastor and most recently the person in charge of pop-up relief centers in town. He says this is more than just a pickup location. He and volunteers are loading their church bus and making calls to see which areas other organizations haven't reached yet. The pastor says they are doing as much as they can to get food over to families and have no intentions of slowing down anytime soon.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. First, a Winston-Salem woman died in a crash on Highway 29 in Greensboro last night. Police say her car ran off the road and flipped near Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Investigators haven't said what led to the crash.
Mount Zion Baptist Church hosted its annual Easter charity giveaway this morning, this year with grocery gift cards valued at $100 apiece. The church collected $20,000 for 200 cards, one per household on a first-come, first-served basis. And the demand, it was so great, the event reached capacity hours before it even started.
We had probably close to 1,000 cars show up today, and unfortunately we were only able to feed 200 households. But we do know the households that we did bless today were very, very, very grateful. We had some people who were here last night at 10 o'clock, just started getting here at 10 o'clock last night. And so we began to open our gates up at 3 o'clock this morning and just welcome the people in.
Wow, and the giving doesn't stop there. Tomorrow, Elon First Baptist Church is hosting an Easter food giveaway. 100 Easter dinner boxes will be given away on a first-come, first-served basis. It starts at noon until supplies run out.
Just about a month and a half until racing returns to North Wilkesboro. NASCAR revealed the All-Star Race format yesterday. WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson is here to break it down.
The All-Star Race will be a simplified race format this year. It'll be a 200-lap event with one competition break at or around lap 100. Each team starting on sticker tires. NASCAR's overtime rules will be in effect here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will race in a different event during this week, the Cars Tour event, but he talked to us about the format of the All-Star Race. He says it's been difficult to understand over the years, so he's happy to see a simple one at the historic track.
There's going to be a lot of big name drivers in all those events, and so it's going to be quite a week for motorsports at that racetrack. And I think I found the perfect little spot for me to have a little fun in the Cars Tour Late Model Stock event, and hopefully we have as good a race car as we did there in August.
The All-Star Race is set for May 21st, and on the 17th we will see Dale right here in a Cars Tour race just like that one in August.
A lot of yellow and green, a lot of people getting excited about it, talking about it, a lot of buzz in the air.
I think, so a couple of my friends have been trying to get tickets. So the cheapest tickets you can find right now to the All-Star Race are $450.
Are you
Wow.
serious?
Well, I mean, there's so much interest
So
right now.
much interest. I mean, short track racing is totally different. If you go to the super speedways like Daytona and all that, and I've seen Daytona and Charlotte a couple times each. I have never been to a short track, and my friends that go there say they are way more exciting because it's more intimate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that being the thing. I've never actually been to a NASCAR
You need
event
to go.
before.
It's crazy. You can watch on TV 100 million times until you go see that in person. You don't understand how fast they're going.
All right.
And it's been 27 years since we've had a NASCAR event at this track. So that's why it's $450
That's right.
to see. It's been a long time.
I love following the track on Twitter too because they continually update some of the progress that they have made over the last couple of weeks and months, and it is just crazy to think how much has changed in the short amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta tell you something really quick.
Okay.
When I was there last year for that race behind us, I could not find a water fountain. And I was so thirsty. So I hope they're bringing water fountains.
That shows you how
here.
long it's been when they
Especially
in a
with all
water
the
fountain.
people out there.
Have a
Alrighty.
Coke. We'll be right back.
Receiving an acceptance letter into a dream college is an exciting time for any high school senior, but being granted a full ride scholarship, that is an even better surprise. Agadir Yassine is a student at the Triad Math and Science Academy in Greensboro. She's been accepted into Harvard University on a full ride scholarship, making a historic first for the TMSA school network. Agadir's scholarship, valued at approximately $400,000, will cover her tuition, meals, books, and dorm costs for her 4-year undergraduate education at the university.
I feel like for many students, Harvard is just a goal that they don't think they can possibly achieve, you know? I mean, for me, everything was kind of focused on UNC. And when I got in, I was like, okay, this is where I'm gonna go, this is it. And then Harvard came along and it completely changed up my plans for the future. So, I mean, it's just great.
TMSA first opened its doors in 2008. Her principal says the public charter school focuses on college prep and STEAM areas. He hopes Agadir's accomplishment will be a lighthouse for all students.
She is an independent learner herself. Agadir is actually very hardworking, very committed, and she has been working towards a particular goal since the very beginning. And then, of course, as the educators around her, we've been doing our best to support her from all avenues possible.
Not only will Agadir receive her high school diploma when she graduates in a few weeks, but she will also receive an associate degree from Guilford Technical Community College. And when she's not studying and in the books, she enjoys reading and volunteering at her school.
My goodness.
That's insane.
Amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
incredible.
we all just sit here, but we're looking at this going, why couldn't we be that smart?
I know, I'm like,
mean,
she's very brilliant.
Very smart.
And I liked what she said. A lot of students, even the most outgoing and the most successful, they might think going to Harvard or Princeton, those top Ivy League schools might be out of reach, but you know, she applied and look at her. She's getting a full ride, $400,000 worth to pay for everything.
I sat here laughing because I got a one-time $500 little thing.
That was just $250.
Yeah, right. That was it. And I was like, okay, we'll take it. You know?
And my parents were so proud too.
Yeah.
And I'm even impressed with, she's not only getting her high school diploma, but also her associate's degree at the same
Right.
time. And she was talking about how both schools worked with her schedule to make sure she got the transportation from campus to campus. So she's going places. I mean, that is a huge accomplishment. Her parents have to be very proud.
At her office one day, I want her to put her GTCC diploma above the Harvard one.
Yes.
Just for us, just for our sake.
Well, as we know, college is expensive. So for more scholarship opportunities, just text the word grad to this number, 336-379-5775, and we'll send you a link of our list right to your phone.
Oh, you know, there are all sorts of home remedies you've likely heard of when it comes to helping with allergies.
You may have heard advice to consume local honey to help ease the symptoms. So does that actually work? Our Verified team has the answer.
Feel that spring sunshine, smell the flowers, see the blossoms, hear the breeze rustling the branches, and taste the local honey, hoping it helps you deal with how allergic you are to the rest of this.
Let's verify, does eating local honey prevent seasonal allergies? Our sources are Dr. Anjani Kaswani, the Asthma and Allergy Foundation, and Sean Kennedy, who keeps bees at the Swiss Ambassador's residence in Northwest DC.
If you buy honey from a local beekeeper, you usually are getting raw, unfiltered honey. It has all the pollen from everywhere around the neighborhood.
That's why Dr. Kaswani says she gets why the myth persists.
Local honey, we're thinking, okay, if there's pollens in the area that are captured in the honey and people eat those in small amounts, then over time they would desensitize to the pollen. That's actually the whole concept behind allergy shots as well.
But reviewing studies on the topic, she and the Asthma and Allergy Foundation conclude there's no evidence exposure to allergens through ingesting local honey is effective.
I wish it was true.
So we can verify, no, eating local honey won't prevent springtime allergies, but the sugary substance can help soothe the season's sting.
Honey does have anti-inflammatory properties, so it can soothe a sore throat if that's coming from postnasal drip. It also works very well as a cough suppressant.
And opting for local can be a sweet way to say thanks to the keepers saving the bees in your neighborhood.
Healthy honeybee population allows us really to feed our people and feed the world.
With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
I have an opinion.
Okay, what's your opinion, Chad?
Sometimes I feel badly when we do verifies on old wives' tales and then prove them wrong.
Do you feel guilty?
Yes, because I mean, you know, some of these things have been passed down for generations, and now all of a sudden we're coming out and saying, you're wrong.
I think I'd like to know what works, though, especially with something like allergies. If I'm
Triad.
doing something that's not helping me, I've actually never heard of this one before because I guess I don't struggle with allergies as much. But honey, it does work for a sore throat.
Did you say honey as in like honey, comma, you're like honey? It does work.
Both. Honey,
Both.
the honey does work
That's
for
right.
a sore throat.
It's true. I do like that for sore throat, but
Yeah.
you know, I think we're all looking for another reason just to eat more honey because it tastes so good.
On a biscuit for
Yes.
breakfast with some coffee.
Do you think there's like a sugar-free honey?
I don't want there to be.
Me neither.
I just want it to be a little bit healthier.
I don't want that to happen. What does it people say? That's natural sugar.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
lot better
natural
for
sugar.
you. Yes. All right, let's talk about our forecast. Yeah, we've got some good stuff and bad stuff, right? The rain, I know you're sick of it like I am, and it's going to stick around for another day. But if you think about it, 2.5 days we get these showers, then we get a stretch of good days. In fact, Easter Sunday, really through Thursday of next week, looks pretty good. So we get a little bit of a payoff after all this hard work we put in. Showers moving on to the east. Thunderstorm activity, that was just last night. Now it's a cold rain, basically, if you call 40s cold. But we'll say lows tonight, low 40s, highs tomorrow, upper 40s. We just don't change a whole lot with temperatures. We've got this blanket of cloud cover and moisture over us, so the temperature really doesn't move a whole lot. You did notice there that rain to the south and west. Hopefully you saw that. That's all moving our way too. So we have a couple of situations that we're watching here with this. And if you look, oh, by the way, if you're wondering what's moving on the graphic over here on that side, that's the wind. I just noticed that. Chad said, what is it? That's the windshield wiper for the sky cam. So it's live, but it's doing its job. So we'll see temperatures going up by tomorrow afternoon to that 47-degree mark. We've got a good 80% chance of rain for most of the day tomorrow. We stay in the 40s. Now notice temperatures, finally we see that rain tapering off, but it will be overnight into Sunday morning. So that's Saturday at like 4 a.m., that 39-degree there, but you see this 10% chance of rain. So we do see some light at the end of the tunnel. This low pressure lifts to the north. It brings into the east, and it brings all that rain for us. That's Saturday morning. Here's Saturday afternoon and evening. That's overnight, and then heading into Easter Sunday. Really ends up, by mid-morning, we'll see clear skies again, and we'll push back up to the upper 50s. So some good news coming just in time for the holiday too, so that's not a bad thing. On Monday and Tuesday, all sunshine, 62 and 69, and then we're back up to 74 and 76 for Wednesday, Thursday, partly cloudy. There's a slight rain chance Friday. It's a 30%. Some of the models say maybe a 20% Thursday, but temperatures are good, above normal in the mid-70s.
Well, rain or shine, people are flocking to the Masters in Augusta, Georgia, and every year the food menu gets a lot of attention, mainly for its rock-bottom prices. Because of that, ESPN is challenging people to build a $10 order at the Masters.
So they have all of the Augusta national staples, from the pimento cheese sandwich for $1.50 to Georgia peach ice cream sandwiches for just under $3. What would you buy if you only had $10? So I actually went online and looked up the menu and the list, and so I created my own. So I would get the classic chicken sandwich, and that came out to $2.50. The chips, $1.50, a craft beer, $5, and then for my dessert, the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich for $1. And all of that, folks, actually came out to $10.
$10 even.
$10 even.
Nice.
We're looking at it back there.
I know. I'd probably, I would just get, I don't know what I would get, but a lot of them.
The sandwiches, I'd go for any of that. Egg salad I have to be in the mood for, but
I love an egg salad
chicken
sandwich.
salad I like. That's good. I mean, those prices are incredible.
And I was surprised by how cheap it was, because, you know, when you go to a lot of events, usually it's really expensive. You're talking $10 for a bottle of water. So I said, wow, they got some really good prices here. The most expensive is actually the beer.
They pride themselves on having these prices every year.
Yes.
So I mean, you spend enough on everything else. I mean,
those tickets,
right?
Are enough.
You've spent your money,
and then you got to stay somewhere. And
yeah, I was really surprised by that ice cream sandwich, the Georgia peach one, only $1.
You could buy some for all of us.
Yeah, I could.
$3.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Lots of people are traveling, some are even flying for spring break right now. We all know the common do's and don'ts of flying, but here's an interesting one that I did not consider. Experts say that passengers should give the armrest to the person in the middle seat. The thinking is the window seat gets the best view and the aisle seat gets the extra breathing room. Another piece of advice that everybody should know: only bring bags you can carry yourself and keep your belongings in your space. When it comes to don'ts, experts say don't bring food with strong smells, don't touch other headrests when walking through the aisle, and don't bother people wearing headphones. And if you see someone wearing headphones, it means don't bother them.
Yeah. Great tips there. So all of this got me wondering about airport rituals. I asked you on my Facebook page, are there any things you always do before you take flight? So Kanika Sheffield says, have a Jack and Coke before and after takeoff for luck. I also wear something to represent the Memphis Tigers when I travel. My entire family does, actually. And then Amanda Hyatt, I never eat before getting on the plane in case there's turbulence. I don't want to get sick on the plane. Been there, done that, and it's not fun. And always, always wipe down the tray tables, both sides. Terry Price wrote coffee and get there early enough to people watch and observe all the many people moving through their journey. Dennis Jones, just wait for my flight. And of course, try to see if I know anyone. That's something I always do, especially if I have a connector flight in a random state. I'm like, I wonder if I see anybody that I know.
That's flying back
Yeah.
here or something like that.
I always see somebody I know on a flight to or from Greensboro all the time. I don't, but going back to the question that you asked, I don't really have a ritual.
Okay.
But I know that I do not sleep well the night before traveling because I'm always worried that I'm gonna my alarm clock, or I'm gonna get stuck in traffic, or they're gonna lose my luggage. It's just a very stressful time.
Yeah, those are some common worries I have myself. Besides getting there early, I try to make sure that I use the restroom before getting on the plane because I just don't like using that tiny plane. But you know, if you're drinking a lot of water, sometimes it's inevitable. And then also buying a pack of gum. I always try to bring a pack of gum with me. And if I forget, for the ear popping, I don't know if that actually works, but
does.
my parents always said it, so I've always done it.
You know, I hate flying, but I do it because I love to travel, but I hate flying, so I always take my little medicine with me. Otherwise, it's hard for me to get through it. Xanax. Yep, I'll take that.
There was a couple people on
will
Facebook
relax.
that said that too. They'll take a Xanax.
I take that right before, 30 minutes before flight. So when they start boarding, I take it, and then I can enjoy the flight and relax. It doesn't make me sleepy or anything. You're just calm.
Nice.
That's your tip of the day.
Yep.
Right, yeah. Or have a Jack and Coke like the first person.
Don't do both. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination. Sure.
I wish I was doing this dance in the rain today.
You should
You would
have.
have been getting too wet, though.
You know what?
That's what they do in the music videos. They're just like dancing in the rain.
From the 90s, right? The 90s music videos.
The sky would have opened up and have been sun on Lauren, just following her around while everybody else got rained on. Welcome to your 4 to 5. Eric, Chad, and Lauren. We're in fine Friday fashion today.
Hey, everybody.
Well, we need to put that on a shirt. Fine Friday fashion.
I like that.
Yep, that'll work.
Fine Friday.
And
then
TM.
And we could make like 4 to 5 one word, so 4 to 5. So fine Friday, 4 to 5 fashion.
Oh, there you go. That's it. All right, done.
All right.
Somebody call the printer.
So what about this weather, though?
I know.
That is the big story that everybody's talking
We're
about.
going to turn the spigot off on Sunday. Sunday morning, just got to get there, right? We've got these showers. Could be heavy at times, especially tomorrow during the day. I think we might actually get a little bit of a break into the night. This is a time lapse, and all you see are the little beads of water splashing against the lens there of the cameras. Yeah, that's Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, Burlington. You see everybody had the same thing, kind of a chilly, cold, or I say cool, maybe not cold, but in the 40s. And we're staying there, by the way, temperature-wise. So these are rainfall totals just since midnight. Now we'll have to, once all this ends, we'll go back and add what we had yesterday evening and afternoon, because that was heavy at times too. But just since midnight, Asheboro's had 1.15 inches, Lexington about 1 1/3 inches. Greensboro's still getting rain right now, so that's adding up to almost 1.5 inches. And there's a possibility that we could add a 1/4 to 1/2 inch tonight, and an additional 1/4 to 1/2 inch on Saturday. So we'll see maybe 2 inches plus of rain, depending on where you look on our map by the time all this ends. But the big question everybody wants to know is, when will this end? I think overnight Saturday night into very early Sunday morning. I don't even think that sunrise services will have the rain now. I think it'll be even earlier than that, but not by much. So you might be on the edge of that. So just be careful of that. Otherwise, by mid-morning, we expect things to clear out on Sunday. We'll stay in the 40s. Lows tonight in the low 40s. Highs tomorrow only in the upper 40s, so 42 and 47. Not much of a temperature spread, but that's what we have. And it will be a cool rain, basically, during that entire period. 80% chance of rain tomorrow after a 50-50 shot tonight. And then we see that 58-degree high on Easter Sunday. We kept that 20% chance in there, but it looks like, I think for the most part, that will be an early morning, really early. We're talking like 4 a.m. when the rain finally leaves. And then after that, good stuff. Monday, Tuesday, 62 and 69 and sunny. 74 to 76, the range of highs. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with a slight rain chance on Friday.
Christians around the world are marking Good Friday today. For many, it's a time of reflection and hope. From the New York procession over the Brooklyn Bridge to Australians flocking to churches for their annual services.
Christian pilgrims trace the path in Jerusalem's Old City they believe Jesus walked in his final moments. Carrying a cross and singing hymns, the faithful follow the cobblestone streets of the Via Dolorosa. The procession ending at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where many believe Jesus was buried. Around the world, Christians reenact this important moment of their faith on Good Friday. In the Philippines, the faithful nailed a 62-year-old man to a cross, driving 2-inch nails into his hands and feet. This is the 34th time he's participated in this reenactment.
This is my vow to God to do it until I can.
In Australia, thousands weathered the rain as Roman soldiers mocked an actor portraying Christ. The message there is one of victory in defeat.
What seems like a complete abandonment and that existential question we all have, God, where are you, especially in times of suffering, that there is hope.
And in Rome, Pope Francis washed the feet of inmates on Thursday, recreating one of the last acts of Jesus before his crucifixion. The pontiff telling the crowd that there's dignity even if you slip up. A message of hope that resonates thousands of years later.
And keeping in mind that Pope Francis just left the hospital days ago, he skipped today's Way of the Cross procession because of the cold weather, but the 86-year-old still attended the indoor Good Friday service.
While today may have been a washout, here's a look at some Triad Easter events tomorrow in Greensboro. You can take pictures with the Easter Bunny at the Four Seasons Town Center. Tomorrow's the last day the bunny will be in Greensboro. There are also several Easter egg hunts at Cornerstone Charter Academy Soccer Field, another at the Horizon Church of the Nazarene, and one at Calvary Church, just to name a few. And then in Winston-Salem, there are multiple Easter egg scavenger hunts in Clemens and Winston-Salem. There's also one for people in Davie Lee County in Mocksville. You can find a full list on our website.
All right, here's the Easter riddle for you. What do you get when you have an egg plus an emoji? Egg plus emoji. The answer is you get egg-mojis. Get it? Egg-mojis. Okay. I made these in 2021. These were like the stages of going through COVID, from the shock to the mask to finally being able to get out into the public again. I brought them for you so you folks could see them in person.
They don't even smell bad.
That's what I was wondering. I said 2021. These are
plastic.
cute.
Okay, these are plastic eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plastic eggs, plastic eggs. Yeah, I like that you could just do whatever you want with them, right? I just painted them, you know, that emoji color and then drew their faces
I like the little
on them.
mask.
I do too. That's my favorite one.
Of course, most of us grew up coloring the eggs, like the old dip color. Is that what you guys did?
Absolutely.
That
And you have to-
PAAS.
And then you do like the crayon on the outside.
Yes.
before you write your
Yes,
name
so
on
that
it.
you can make all of the different, like, you know,
designs, yeah.
polka dots or whatever, right? It used to be the eggs that you colored, you left them out. Didn't matter if you didn't eat them, right? Because they weren't that expensive.
Yeah.
But now eggs are expensive.
Yes.
I wonder if people chose to get the fake ones instead and did this instead.
You know, I was at the Dollar Tree the other day, and they
Okay.
sell these huge bags full of like several of the eggs, and people were just
plastic
swiping
ones?
the plastic.
Just the white plastic ones that you could
like
you
the
could do?
all-colored ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like the all-colored ones because you can open them
They
and
have
put
a
the
little
candy
hinge.
in there.
Yeah.
Right, of course. Okay, now there's a group in the Pacific Northwest that they've scrapped the idea of decorating eggs altogether because eggs, they say, were too expensive.
Okay.
So instead, they are using
Rocks?
potatoes.
Potatoes.
Really. They happen to be your everyday average small potatoes.
That's funny.
So Potatoes USA says you can use any regular food dye, just be sure to dilute it with some water. For a natural alternative, you can make paint with turmeric, beet juice, and cabbage.
There's actually as much protein in as a potato as an egg. There's as much vitamin C in a potato as a grapefruit. There is as much potassium in as a potato as a banana. They're very nutritious. They are relatively cheap compared to an egg.
Seriously, things I did not know that you could paint. A potato.
Well, if you think about it, when you paint the eggs, you know, it could get messy and all that kind of stuff, or like before you dye them or boil them, they can break. You don't have that issue with the potato.
You don't.
So
Now,
that's the positive
They
side.
don't have the clean canvas that an egg does, but you can still paint them.
Well, but you could also buy a little Mr. Potato Head kit and put the eyes and the arms in
See,
there.
that would be super cute too, and you decorate the potato, not just color the
that's right.
potato, right?
I imagine like a painting of like just an old curmudgeon man on a potato.
Just looking
like
or the little eyes or
Scowl.
and
dots.
eyebrows and all that other kind of stuff. All right, so if you painted an egg or potatoes, share them with us on Facebook. Let's see what your handiwork looks like.
All right, well, we should not be surprised a business would try to make waves with an unusual Easter food combination. Subway is giving out Cadbury cream egg sandwiches in the United Kingdom. It features Subway's Italian bread with melted Cadbury cream eggs inside. A Subway spokesperson confirmed this is not a late April Fool's joke.
Well, there's not meat with it too, right?
It looked like it was just the.
Oh, if you think about it, it's like dessert, like eating pie almost.
So if the bread,
If you think about
if
it.
the bread were toasted with cinnamon sugar,
Yes. And you have the
Maybe.
chocolate on
Yes,
there,
or
then
the, or the flatbread or
Sure.
something.
I think
Still
we
gross.
should try it.
still gross.
I would
to
be
me.
down to try that. Let's take that flight to the UK.
Right.
Or we can just bring some Cadbury eggs into our local Subway and see, like, hey, can you do
And see,
something
you
with
can
this?
put it on the panini press for
Yes,
us.
yes.
Very good. Very good. All right.
All right, we're going to switch gears now to some headlines. Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, we are learning more about a popular music festival in Virginia that has been canceled. Festival organizers for Floyd Fest say they are missing a work permit needed to host this event. They say they tried to find another venue, but the timeline was too short to find a replacement. Ticket holders do have options if they already have tickets. They can either receive a refund or let it roll over to 2024. Ticket holders have until May 5th to make that decision. If they do not decide by then, tickets will automatically be rolled over into the next year. We also are one step closer to having a new state budget for the next 2 years. House lawmakers voted to approve their version of the budget proposal. They say it addresses inflation with big worker raises causing cautious spending. The proposal now heads to the Senate for review. When both sides reach an agreement, the proposal will be sent to Governor Roy Cooper's desk.
There are several recalls you need to know about this afternoon. First, Revolution Farms is recalling lettuce and salad kits over listeria concerns. If you bought one of these products, you should throw it away or return it to the store. Listeria can cause serious and sometimes deadly infections. Bissell is recalling its cordless wet dry vacuums because of serious fire hazards. They say the battery pack can overheat and smoke. 5 people have even reported fires from it. If you've got one, you should stop using it and contact the company for a free battery pack replacement. Honda is recalling more than 330,000 vehicles because of side view mirrors that could fall out and increase the risk of a crash. Impacted vehicles include recent model years of the Honda Odyssey minivan, Passport and Pilot SUVs, and Ridgeline pickups. Honda says it'll replace those mirrors free of charge. We'll be right back. The Bureau of Labor Statistics released the March jobs report today.
It shows employment remains healthy but is slowing down.
The leisure and hospitality industry, including restaurants, added 72,000 workers last month, but that's way down from the average monthly gain of 95,000 over the past 6 months. Other industries like healthcare are seeing a similar slowdown. Overall, the economy added 236,000 jobs in March, a significant drop from the employment gains in January and February. The unemployment rate is at 3.5%.
236,000 jobs in a month is certainly a big slowdown. It's the slowest job growth since December of 2020.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says overall growth is being slowed by cuts in some industries. In March, Meta announced a second round of layoffs involving 10,000 workers. Amazon is in the midst of letting 9,000 more employees go. Goldman Sachs and Disney are also downsizing. Companies announced 270,000 job cuts in the first quarter of 2023, a nearly 400% increase from the same period last year. But the weakening job market could be a good sign for the Federal Reserve, which has been raising interest rates in an attempt to slow the economy and inflation.
The Fed needs to see the labor market cool down. The reason is when job growth is robust, when wages are rising, it means that people have more money in their pockets and spend more. That spending can contribute to inflation.
The Fed will soon find out if inflation is easing. The government is releasing a new report on consumer prices next week.
Well, from human workers to robot versions, a noodle restaurant in Michigan now has robot servers. Noodletopia recently launched its BellaBot robot waiter to make up for staffing shortages. The robot is able to greet guests, lead them to their tables, deliver food and drinks, and take dirty dishes to the kitchen.
And some say robot waiters aren't much more than a gimmick, and they have a long way to go before they can replace human waiters. For example, they can't take orders and can't navigate steps, outdoor patios, or high booths. It is a slippery slope when you start getting robots to do human jobs.
Hello, can I take your
right,
order?
Right. All right, so have you
Okay.
seen the videos of, what's the name of that company? Boston something, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, their robots are so human-like with their movements. They can jump up on a table. I mean,
Whoa.
it's built like they can walk down steps, they can run.
Do they have a face?
No, it's like a white,
Okay.
almost like a white head and a black
Okay.
faceplate. But their movements are incredible. They can balance, they can carry dishes. I mean, they could wait on tables, but they're so expensive. They have
I mean, this is kind of the future. We were just
is.
talking about this the other day. We keep talking about bare minimum Mondays or the Great Resignation, different things like that. If people are going to leave the workforce and there's a shortage, the robots might be taking our place.
And guess what? That robot ain't getting a tip.
That's right. Get a little extra oil for the inside.
Right. Well, you know it's going to be like more expensive because first of all you have to buy the robot.
I almost feel like we're in the Jetsons, like we're living
We're
like
close.
the Jetsons now.
Yeah, we're close.
We just need the flying cars and we'll be there.
We'll be back.
Yeah, that's probably how you're feeling if you live here in the Triad. If you've been out today and you got a firsthand look at all the nasty weather, constant rain, slick and flooded roads, and on top of that, temperatures dropped from the 80s yesterday to the 40s today, so it should be like that tomorrow too. But with this wet weather impacting us all, I asked you on Facebook, what's your favorite thing to do on rainy days? Angie Meek says lay around and watch TV or read/listen to a book. Melvin Mungo, going to the gym and sleeping, maybe do shopping. You know the rest. Edna Shaw, relax and sip on a good glass of wine. That sounds pretty nice. Stephen Glover, play Xbox against my son and lose every round, LOL. Carol Grubbs, paint, read, cook. The possibilities are endless. And then Renee Thompson says, this rainy day right here, pray that it stops. I am with you on that, Renee.
I'm with the blanket on the couch and
Yeah,
watching TV.
it really all depends to me the temperature at which it is while it's raining. So if it's like a summer day, it's raining out, then I'd like to be out socializing under like an overhead, a bar or a restaurant that has like a cool like covered patio, because I love to be outside when it's raining as long as the temperature is comfortable.
I agree with that.
What about when it's in the 40s like today?
Like today, I just opened the blinds. I did this the other day in my bedroom and just like stared out the window.
Just look at the rain.
With a cup of coffee in your rocking chair.
Just like literally laying in bed looking at it.
I don't mind that.
I love cuddling up, watching some Netflix. Love is Blind, the new episodes dropped today, so I'm going to be watching that when I get off. Yeah.
I count the days till Wednesdays for Ted Lasso Mandalorian now. That's what my life has been reduced to. All right, let's talk about that rain. When will it leave? That's what everybody wants to know. And we do see the scattered showers out there, not as heavy as they were earlier in the day. So it's good news if you have to head home from work in the next hour or so. You will still see rain, but it won't be quite as heavy. You can see a lot of the heavier stuff back to the north. Let's go out to the wide shot because, yeah, there's another batch of this moving through. We're thinking Saturday you could have periods of heavy rain during the first half of the day. We're hoping for all this to end overnight Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. So I actually think for most people, Easter should be okay. We should clear out by hopefully mid-morning, and then we see those clear skies moving in. In fact, if you look at the rain chances here, they start to drop a little bit, and we see them going down by about 2 to 4 a.m. Sunday morning. The rain chances just kind of fizzle out. That could be perfect for sunrise services, although the ground will still be very wet. Low pressure moves to the east and north, ushers in a lot of that moisture for us over the next 24 hours, 24 to 36 hours, we should say. And then finally clearing out for Easter. Temperatures, it's going to be chilly tomorrow, 47 degrees with that 80% chance of rain. Then drying out on Easter Sunday with a high of 58. Monday, Tuesday, beautiful sunshine. Low 60s Monday, 69 Tuesday, mid 70s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with a slight rain chance on Friday.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. I'm about to get a stick mic, so give me a second.
Sleepovers for birthdays growing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Get it, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's a robotic company.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Hey, check, check, 1, 2, 3, 4. No.
Bread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Lauren, off the top, we have one movie. Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
Mic check 1 2 3 3 2 1 1 2 3 3 2 1. Mic check 1 2 3 3 2 1. Okay.
I have a very important update to share with you regarding our family. We have a new member. Allow me to introduce my new nephew, Benjamin Stephen. He was born on April 1st to my sister and brother-in-law in Wisconsin. His entrance into the world was anything but normal. My sister went into labor in the middle of a snowstorm. She says multiple nurses and doctors got stuck in the snow in the middle of the night on their way to the hospital. They needed police and other escorts to help get them to the hospital safely. When all was said and done, more than a foot of snow fell. But at the end of the day, he arrived just fine. Both baby Benjamin and my sister are doing well. The video that absolutely melted my heart was when he got to meet his big sister, Charlotte. She said his name, noted that he was sleeping, and even gave him a kiss on the forehead. I can already tell she's going to be a protective big sister. I can't wait to go home to meet him for myself. 13 days, but who's counting? That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Right now, rain is pouring across the Piedmont, making for quite a messy Friday.
Tomorrow, consider it rinse and repeat, with conditions looking pretty much the same.
But just hold on, there's a sunny Sunday coming up soon, right in time for the Easter Bunny.
Our meteorologist Eric Chilton joins us live now. Eric, the weather should clear up